Hello everyone, this is PHTV Channel 4 in Palos Heights. I'm Sue Jankowski and we are back with the travel show. And our good friend Kathy Janes is here, as she always is. Thanks for being here today, Kathy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this.
I love it. And we are here with Maria Triantos. Did I get it right?
You got the Greek name right.
I'm so happy because Maria is going to tell us all about all things Greek that you can do on Celestial. Is it Celestial Cruises? Is there an end to that? Okay, Celestial Cruises.
Celestial Cruises.
You know, and I don't know if you've heard of Celestial Cruises before. Maybe you have. Maybe you've even been on a Celestial Cruise, which would be great. If you haven't or would like to do it again, I think Maria is going to tell us a whole lot about it, and she's got all kinds of itineraries here. And I guess, too, I was, reading some information ahead of time, and I'm a little like, wow, surprised about some things. And I think one of the things is, there seems to be an overwhelming need to explore Greece by people.
Absolutely. Well, think about this. What we've gone through the last few years, people are eager to travel, that's for sure,
Yes,
right?
yes.
They want to get out of Dodge
They
now.
want to get out of Dodge now.
Yeah.
And they want to knock off the bucket list. And how many people have Greece on their bucket list? A lot, exactly. So Greece has been trending as one of the top Google searches in the internet for the first quarter of this year.
Wow.
Very popular. We are expecting over 1 million tourists in Greece.
Wow.
For
Get ready, Greece.
2023.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's gotten very high up in demand. Also, it offers something for everyone. You can have beautiful beaches, you could have history, benchmark of democracies. It all started in Greece.
Yeah.
And there's so many great wine and food experiences, adventure. There's truly something for everyone in Greece.
Just the history alone, if
Yes.
you really want to find out about that, that is wonderful. And the food and the culture is also interesting for people. And the scenery, I can imagine that a lot of people would really like to go.
Beautiful sunsets, absolutely. But you know what the number one draw is once they've experienced it? The people.
Oh, is that right?
It is. There's a word in Greek that doesn't literally translate into the English language very well. It's philoxenia. Philoxenia, oh, by the way, I am Greek. I'm the token Greek on the team, so it's not all Greek to me.
Okay. Well, you really got your pronunciation down. I thought there might be some sort of connection.
So philoxenia means literally the honor and pride of welcoming a stranger into your home.
That's
And
cool.
how many of you know Greek restaurant owners in this
Yes.
country, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's in our DNA to be great hosts.
Yeah.
So when you come to Greece, you feel the welcoming of the Greek people. They love to just take you into their home and show you around and talk to you. They want to know where you're from. I think it's the people that really make Greece such a wonderful destination. And I think because of our Greek roots in the region, you feel that philoxenia even on board Celestial Cruises.
That's great.
That is cool.
And
yeah.
cruising is a wonderful way to travel, and I think some people haven't done it before, and they don't really understand about traveling on a ship. Maybe you could help us understand that.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, cruising is wonderful for those that want to see more of the islands. Did you know there's 6,000 Greek islands?
No.
220 that are really populated. So even the Greeks don't see all of Greece because there's so many different hidden gems. So it saddens me actually when I hear people saying they're going to go to Greece and then they're going to fly to Santorini and Mykonos and that's all they're seeing because, wow,
They're
you
missing
saw
out.
touristy
You didn't
Greece.
see Greece. You
You
really
did
didn't
not see
No.
the real Greece. I think if you take a Celestial Cruise, boarding in Athens, and you experience a new port every day, you're not only getting a tremendous value for your money, but you're seeing and experiencing all the different types of islands like Crete that is got so much to offer and is very different than the Santorini and Mykonos, which we do include on our 7-night itinerary.
Well, that sounds really great. So, okay, we're on this cruise ship. Before we go into the islands themselves and into Greece. Let's talk about things you would find on this ship. Well, how is this ship different than, say, the smaller ships or the larger ships? What would we find on this ship?
Well, the great thing about our ship is that it's still big enough to have every kind of amenity you would want. There is fabulous entertainment nightly. There's a full spa, which is life-changing. Our dining rooms, our bars, casino, everything is on board that you would want on a ship. However, we are very certain that the destination is the hero. You literally are in a port every day, new day, every day, different port, gone, hopefully enjoying the culture and the land, being immersed in the travel experience. We really are the cruise line for travelers, not just cruisers. So we allow the travelers to experience the land, but have the ease of being able to come back on board in the evening, not have to repack to go to the next
exactly.
port.
They're just going to say that, packing on a
And
pack.
also not worrying about your budget, because Greece has gotten super expensive as of recent. A hotel night in Santorini could, in the summertime, can be a budget hotel would be $500 a night.
Oh,
So
ouch,
it's
ouch.
such in demand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
being able to have your budget set, we're finding a lot of multi-generational families are going, because, you know, grandparents want to live in the moment now and enjoy the time with family after the pandemic that we've come through. So a lot of multi-generational families, honeymooners, a lot of girl trips. I see a lot of that on board. And we also cater to the faith-based market. So lots of different types of groups choose Celestial for different reasons. And we have a wide demographic of ages, something for everyone. So I think we do a really good job of catering to all those needs. Because it's a smaller ship with usually not more than 1,000 people sailing, you still have the ease of getting off the ship quickly. You can imagine on larger vessels, when you have 3,000 and 5,000 people, Santorini is always going to be crowded, but when you have those big ships in town, it really gets to be a bit too close in.
It does.
It does. So having a smaller ship experience, it really enhances the travel to the islands.
I would think with a smaller ship too, they might be able to get into some ports that maybe the bigger
So
ships
glad you
can't.
brought that up. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So first of all, our itineraries are unique and win awards. And one of the ports that we go to that not many ships ever go to is Milos. Milos has been voted in the top 10 of travel and leisure consistently over the last decade. It boasts some of the top 3 beaches in the world.
Wow.
It is one of the most scenic islands in all of Greece, and it's because of the unique formations of rock. So there's one beach called Sarakiniko Beach. They call it the Moon Beach because it kind of looks like you're on the set of Star Wars, walking over the rocks to get to the water. And in the summertime, I love being able to take our excursion, the nostalgic Milos, where you board a little boat with about 40 people, and you go sailing for an hour and a half past these rock formations, anchoring at Kleftikos Beach, where you can then jump off the boat, swim through water caves. Yes, you actually can swim through, and it's open onto the other side, where you get a bunch of people in the middle, and they tell you, watch the wake of your splashes, the wake of your waves, because it turns iridescent with
my
the light
goodness.
coming in from both sides.
That's got to be really cool.
I've had groups of 20
Really
adults
cool.
who act like 8-year-olds splashing each other, looking at the wake and enjoying
That
it.
would be me. I'd be, ooh.
The water is so aqua clear too. It's just a really memorable way to end the
I was going
idyllic
to use that
cruise.
word. You know, and sometimes those memories, that kind of memory, you don't need a photograph. You don't need to stand there with your camera. It's in your head forever. That that beautiful moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as I was just telling the story, I got goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah.
It just is such an incredible way to. It's on the last day of our idyllic cruise, and I know that it's everyone's highlight that that experiences this.
That sounds really beautiful.
Okay,
so
I'm
we're
ready.
going
I'm
to,
ready.
and so we can pick, I mean,
Yeah.
you brought a number of different itineraries here. And so you can choose what you want to do and which includes the islands that you prefer to go to.
Well, you can pick the idyllic itinerary, which is kind of what we were just talking about.
Okay.
This
Gives me lost.
itinerary features Thessaloniki. It goes to Kusadasi, Turkey, where you can visit the ancient city of Ephesus, some of the most magnificent ruins I've ever seen in my 50 countries of travel. Then proceeding on to Crete, where, oh wait, let me just say a little bit about Crete. There is a cultural experience there that's exclusive to Celestial, where you visit a farm that has a winery, and Mr. Vasilis, and he tells you about his family and his history. And you walk into his home. He shows you his Raki distillery, which is basically moonshine, but will cure anything. And everyone then walks into his living area where he has tables set up with Greek yogurt and honey and these incredible olives. And then the dancers come out.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, guys, the Cretan dancers are known in all of Greece to be some of the best dancers throughout Greece. And they put on a show for you. And as you're tasting his very organic wine and his Raki and enjoying the show, well, at the end they invite you to dance with them.
Oh, how neat.
And you should. You
Yes.
should get up and do the 1, 2, 3, back, back, 1, 2, 3,
Well,
back,
yeah,
back,
yeah.
and enjoy the Greek music, the culture. That experience in itself, I've had the privilege of being there now 9 times, and I sit back and watch the group taking this in and melting at what they're taking in, and hugging Mr. Vasilis as they're leaving, and just so grateful for what they were able to
Experience.
share in that day.
Yeah.
So we like to share my homeland authentically, and I would encourage you to do the Cretan countryside when you go to Crete, but only on Celestial. So
They're
enjoy
the
that.
only group that goes there.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Well,
our,
that is a good
he's
thing.
our guy. So that's what happens in
Okay.
Crete. Or you could also, in Crete, visit the Temple of Knossos and hear the stories of the birthplace of Greek mythology. You know, the story of half donkey, half man. I don't want to ruin the punchlines. But then the next day we sail to Santorini, the Blue Dome roofs, the beautiful poses that
That
you
is
can get for your
beautiful,
Instagram. Every young lady wants those pictures.
see
I would
this.
say
It's beautiful.
older ladies too want those pictures. And Santorini, we're there from 7 in the morning till past midnight. So you have,
Oh, my.
you are able to take in Santorini and Mykonos with nightlife. And if you know anything about Greece, you know that Greeks don't even go out to eat till 9 p.m. That's early. So you want to see that the islands come to life at night and enjoy having dinner at a seafood shop on the shore if you so choose. You're always welcome to go back to the ship to eat, but certainly it's nice to have choices and
And
be
to stay
there
out, sure.
way past the sunsets. And I have
Enjoy
to tell
it.
you guys, people will ask me, where's the better sunset, Santorini or Mykonos? And I've seen great sunsets on both, but Mykonos steals my heart.
Oh, okay.
To be in Little Venice at sunset, where you have the backdrop and everyone is gathered in that one little port, and
To
when the
watch it.
sun hits the water, everyone breaks into a thunderous applause.
Oh, yeah.
It is
It's just-
another goosebump
Yeah,
moment that
yeah.
I wish for all of you. It is just an incredible island. I love Mykonos town, getting lost in there, shopping and tasting and just enjoying the experience. And people watching. Ooh, Mykonos is
that's-
great for
oh,
people
yeah.
watching. I spotted a couple of celebs there myself, so keep your eyes open. It's a little easier now without masks too.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, you go to Mykonos, and then you
And
end
then
up
we
with the
end with
wonderful
Milos.
Milos. Yeah.
So the idyllic itinerary sails from April through early October. Greece does have seasons. It's not like Mexico or the Caribbean that it's
Okay.
always warm.
Yeah.
It is really not a winter destination. So April to October is great for the Greek islands. No problem. It is hot, fun in the sun, July and August, but if that's what you or your family are looking for, then that's a great time to go. But in our shoulder seasons, we offer different itineraries on our 7-night ship, which can appeal to those that aren't looking for the fun in the sun. One of them is our eclectic itinerary, which features Istanbul and the incredible port of Volos with the hanging monasteries. That's on that one.
Okay.
So the eclectic,
Paul.
this itinerary, you can actually see the hanging monasteries of Meteora. And if you don't know what that is, please Google it. It is, I didn't know it was on my bucket list.
Until you saw it.
Until I saw it.
But now it's off your bucket list. You did it.
I would go back.
Really?
I stepped off the bus expecting to be wowed, but I couldn't breathe for like 3 minutes. I was just standing in there in awe. Do you remember those monasteries on a cliff in the James Bond movies?
Yes.
Where he scales the cliff to rescue the damsel in distress? Well, there are 6 of those monasteries in Meteora that are UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and we can take you to 2 of them from the port of Volos. It is a really unique way to visit this area because otherwise you're doing an 8-hour one-way trip from Athens. Not an easy trip from Athens. It's in far northern Greece. And northern Greece is beautiful and green, and there's skiing in northern Greece. No one knew, right?
No.
But Meteora is one of the highlights. So the eclectic itinerary features that with, of course, Istanbul as an overnight, which really is spectacular for those that are interested. We also feature a Steps of Paul itinerary that is great
that?
for
Saw that
people who
one,
wish
yeah.
to learn more about the New Testament and travel with their faith-based group, perhaps with their pastor or priest, going with their church. This is a fantastic itinerary to bring up for them. And then my second most popular itinerary, the 3 continents. Okay, let's talk about this. It features our only at sea day at this time because we go from Athens to Ashdod, which is to get you to Cairo. So you are going all the way to Cairo to see the pyramids, the Sphinx, the King Tut exhibit, wherever he lays today. I know he's moving at some point. And to have a marvelous lunch and be escorted into this incredible world. The next day, if you don't think that's going to wow you enough, let's take you to Israel, where you can walk in the footsteps of the Bible, going into Jerusalem and Bethlehem, or perhaps Tel Aviv and Jaffa, whatever you or your clients choose. And from there on to Limassol, Cyprus, which when I did this itinerary, it ended up being one of the favorite ports for my group because it was so incredibly friendly, clean, and the most incredible lunch on that excursion. They said, the best meal I've ever had in my life, and that's the Cypriot way. So I'm really proud that we feature Cyprus on that itinerary, as well as Rhodes, and then back to Kusadasi, Turkey. This is an incredible itinerary to do right before Christmas because in Kusadasi, lots of shopping. Ooh, ladies, shopping. I had lots of people buying suitcases to fill them up with their Christmas gifts.
Oh, wow.
So just know that those operate in the shoulder months of March, November, and December. So we really do have different offerings, and we have those 7-night itineraries that can be combined into 14-night when the itineraries change. And then we have special holiday sailings that are longer in length over the Christmas and New Year holidays. But we also have another ship, our little Olympia here, that does 3- and 4-night sailings for those that want to do more land or perhaps are tying this in with another European country and have limited time. We do 3- and 4-night sailings, but let me tell you, 5 5 ports in 3 days.
That's a lot.
Exactly.
It's a lot, but a great
Yeah.
bang for your buck, and we love being able to offer that.
What is the temperature then in November? An idea of what it might be in Greece at that time?
In Greece, it'll be light jacket weather. I would
Okay.
say it's very similar to Texas weather in that it can snow, but it's rare.
Okay.
It gets really hot and humid in the summer.
Right.
So I would compare it to Texas weather.
So just a light jacket. Okay.
Light jackets and you're all set.
Well, some of these shorter trips too would give you like a background, so you can say, okay, when I really go and want to spend longer, this is the places I want to really delve into.
Absolutely. Our 3 and 4 night ship is featured in a lot of tour packages across the globe.
There has
so
been,
a lot of
yes.
times people are sailing us and didn't even know that it was us until they board. But the one thing that they'll never forget is their service. Our people on board our ships make us shine. When I tell you, a lot of ships have a very high turnover. Our ships, most of our crew have been with us for 5, 10, 20, 30 years. This is their home.
Wow.
They go home for 2 months in January and February when we are dry docked, and they come back for the 10-month stint. And because this is their home, and we have the Greek philosophy embedded with us, you feel that philoxenia of service throughout the ship. We have won for the last 6 years consistently, when there's been sailing, guys, best cruise line for service year after year. We have 60 awards in our cabinet, some for our shore excursions, some are for our solo traveler. We really cater to our solo travelers, as well as food and service. So we love being able to give an authentic experience. As the Greek National Cruise Line, we better do a good
we
job in
better,
our own
yeah.
backyard, right?
Exactly. Now, speaking of food, so on the ship, people can expect to have more Greek cuisine or just general cuisine, or they have a Greek choice, because sometimes people may love Greek food, maybe they're timid about it, they're not sure, they
That's
haven't had it
perfect.
before.
We cater for the international fare. Now, understand that our loads are typically 60% North Americans. So we know that North Americans like their burgers and their steaks, and there are certainly those options. However, there are always Greek dishes featured, as well as other fares. So you might have an Asian-inspired dish on the menu one night, but there's something for everyone. And I always say there's sit-down dining for every meal if you so choose. There's also specialty dining, which with our new ship, we haven't even gotten to the new ship yet, oh my, we will have 7 dining rooms as well as 8 bars featured on this ship. So I'm so excited to see our new menus and the cuisine we'll be offering. There is something for everyone always, and we cater to every special dietary need that can be asked for. I've seen, I'm gluten-free. I've traveled with vegetarians and vegans. We always accommodate whatever it is. They just need to speak up and tell us that's what they need.
That's great. That gives people lots of choices. Okay, so if someone thinks, yeah, I want to find more out about Greece, so I want to do something like this. Is this something like maybe they want to travel right now, like in June?
Yay, let's go.
Okay.
So here's what they do. They call Kathy.
Okay, I'm ready.
They call Kathy. And I would recommend that they take a look at the itineraries, deciding which one they want. I would encourage them to go with the 7-night itinerary. Hopefully, they can book sooner than later, but September 2nd, we are launching our new ship, replacing our little crystal ship here. I don't have a model of the new ship, but she's going to be named The Journey.
Oh, I like
And
that.
I did
like
have
that.
the privilege of touring her in March. She's almost ready to go, actually. She looked pretty good. She's currently getting some refurb and signage and all that fun stuff that needs to be spruced up since she was sitting since before COVID.
Oh,
so
gosh.
she's getting spruced up and ready to be launched September 2nd. So if
Is this about the same size ship, or is it
it
changed?
is. It's actually capacity-wise almost exactly like our little Crystal,
Okay.
with a capacity of 1260, which means capacity means there's a head in every bed, and there's a lot of triples and quads on a ship, right? But obviously, most of them are taken up with doubles.
Right.
So I would say typically it'll still sail with about 1,000 people, and we are. But what is different about the new ship is it has more options and more beautiful areas in the common spaces. So there is an indoor and an outdoor pool with beautiful deck space around the pools. There's a more luxurious spa, which I don't know about you guys, I'm all into the spa.
Yes, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
we have more dining rooms, more bars, a special wine bar. That's the other place you'll find me, the spa or the wine bar.
That sounds.
I like that too.
And a nicer casino, a much beautiful, more beautiful reception area, and that's just going to enhance the experience for our guests, and we're really proud of
And that comes out in September, so if
that
people
comes out in September.
people can still get on that ship. in
Absolutely,
September,
there are
October.
some cabins left.
Yeah.
So if you call Kathy, she can get you set up with air. I would suggest 2 nights prior to sailing so that you have your first day in Athens, you're tired after your trip, but then the day after,
You feel much better.
you feel much better,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
should tour Athens.
And you're ready to
Climb
go.
the Acropolis. Yeah, it's magnificent at the top to see the treasures of the Acropolis. And then the museum is steps away from the Acropolis that houses all the treasures that are at the top. So it has been rated in the top 5 of all museums in Europe consistently over the last decade. Even if you're there for an hour and a half, to see what the
What there
Acropolis
is, right.
Museum offers,
Yes.
absolutely spectacular. And then just stroll through Plaka, shop, enjoy, go to Bretto's, have an Acropolis martini.
Okay.
Go and go to my favorite restaurants, maybe have a wine tasting at Cinque, maybe go to Stamatopoulos for live music with your dinner, and then always go to the rooftop bar on the Electra Palace so that you can see the Acropolis lit up
Oh,
at
that
night.
has gotta be gorgeous.
It is great.
Yeah.
And during the day, explore Syntagma Square so you see the Greek soldiers in their customary garb. Every hour on the hour they change. You'll want to be there to see them move. So that's a free attraction. Might as well go look
Exactly.
at the soldiers that guard the tomb of the unknown soldier in front of the House of Parliament.
That sounds just fabulous. And you know,
Doesn't
all
it?
the
Yeah.
places that Maria just mentioned, Kathy can say, Maria, what was that restaurant? And you can get it
Exactly.
written down so that
Exactly.
you can go see these.
She will have my cheat sheet for you if you call Kathy.
Because that way
Yeah.
you know those places. Sometimes you get out somewhere and you're like, well, I'm not sure what to do, where to go, what's good. And now you can
We asked
find
Maria.
out. You
Yeah.
ask Maria, and then Kathy will tell you what that is.
Yeah.
So really, basically, I've always said, Kathy agrees with me, and I know you will too. You know, planning your trip, thinking about it is part of the fun. So you do want to get started with some of these trips, like now, and at least if you're going this year, maybe you want to plan way far ahead and plan for next year. That's up to you. But it's fun to think about. It's fun to actually do some exploring
It is.
yourself with
It
some
is,
reading.
But I will say this, because of the popularity of Greece, now is the time to book, whether it be this year or next, because things are selling out. And prices are only going to go up from here because supply and
It just-
demand will
yeah,
predicate it.
exactly.
So take advantage now, because now you've met Kathy, who's going to be my Greek expert
Oh,
in this area.
cheating, guys. I'm going to be cheating. Maria, where are you?
That is okay. I've got your back, Kathy. I've got your back.
Well, it just sounds absolutely wonderful. I think that if you haven't experienced being on a ship and the convenience of you're just on and off, you don't have to unpack, and there's always, you know, a drink or dinner or coffee or something waiting for you. That's a wonderful thing.
And with only 1,000 people,
yeah,
that is just perfect.
It really is.
It is.
It is
And
perfect.
we
It's
should
a nice
mention it's
size.
affordably priced. So, you know, some of the itineraries for a inside cabin could start as low, less than $1,000 per person.
Oh, wow.
So
That is a
really
great
a
price.
deal.
It really is.
For a nice junior balcony cabin, perhaps in the range of $2,500 a person in higher season. So we are affordable. I'm giving you ranges here, guys. Don't hold me to those.
Right.
Well,
But
yeah,
we certainly
yeah.
have prices that can suit everyone's budget and cabins that can suit everyone's needs. So if you're on a budget, we got the cabins for you. If you want the penthouse suite, there's only one on board the new ship. So be sure to book with
Get
Kathy
your
now.
name. Hurry.
Go big.
Go now.
Go big or go home,
Excellent.
right?
Excellent.
Well, Maria, thank you for coming in and
Thank you
sharing.
so much for
And
having me.
Boy, you're very knowledgeable about all this, and you know, being Greek, it's great to have all those pronunciations.
Exactly.
Because
So
I'm
I
looking
wanna
at going, I'm
say-
like, I don't know if I
wanna
can say that.
Evcharisto, and I'm going to teach you a little Greek, everyone. So in Greek, it's kind of like aloha. Yasu is
Yasu?
hello and goodbye.
Oh, nice.
So
Yasu.
yasu to you,
Yasu.
yasu to you.
I like
And
that.
now that you speak Greek,
Go there.
come to Greece.
Gotta go.
Thanks for watching us today, and we'll be back next month with another great idea for you. Plan your travels. Play now. It's fun. Yasu.
Yasu.
Yasu.